March is Women's History Month, a time to honor women who didn't just make history, they reshaped it. Women who challenged the rules, women who broke barriers, women whose courage shaped the world in ways we're still feeling today. And this week, we're shining a spotlight on a dynamic woman whose impact reaches far beyond her own lifetime, a woman whose influence shaped culture, storytelling, and the fight for justice itself. Who is she? Let's take a look. She grew up in the tobacco fields of rural Virginia, a young black girl in the Jim Crow South who refused to let segregation define the limits of her mind. She dreamed of numbers, she dreamed of science, and she dreamed of a world bigger than the one she could see from her family's farm. What she could not have known is that one day her calculations would help billions of people navigate that world. This is the story of Dr. Gladys West, the quiet mathematician whose brilliance helped create the GPS system that guides our phones, our cars, our planes, our ships, and our lives. A woman once hidden in the background of military research, now recognized as one of the most important scientific minds of the 20th century. Gladys May Brown was born on October 27, 1930, in Sutherland, Virginia. Her mother worked in a tobacco factory, her father worked for the railroad, and like so many black children in the South, Gladys spent much of her childhood working on the family farm. But even then, she knew the fields were not her future. She studied relentlessly, not because it was easy, but because she understood what education could unlock. Her determination paid off. She graduated valedictorian of her high school class, earning a full scholarship to Virginia State College, an HBCU that would shape the rest of her life. There she majored in mathematics, one of the most demanding fields, especially for a black woman in the 1950s. But Gladys didn't just excel, she thrived. By 1955, she had earned both her bachelor's and master's degrees in mathematics, and soon after, the U.S. Navy came calling. In 1956, Gladys West was hired at the Naval Proving Ground in Dahlgren, Virginia, now the Naval Surface Warfare Center. She was only the second black woman ever hired there, and one of just 4 black employees in total. Imagine walking into a high-security military research facility in the 1950s, surrounded by segregation, surrounded by doubt, and knowing you have to be twice as good just to be seen as equal. Gladys didn't flinch. She mastered early computer programming, coding, and advanced mathematics at a time when computers filled entire rooms and required punch cards to operate. Her colleagues quickly learned if the math was complicated, you called Gladys. And in Dahlgren, complicated math was the job. In the early 1960s, Gladys contributed to an award-winning astronomical study that proved the regularity of Pluto's motion relative to Neptune, a project that required extraordinary precision. But her most groundbreaking work came later. From the mid-1970s through the 1980s, Gladys West led the effort to create the most accurate mathematical model of Earth's shape ever produced. That wasn't just a map, it was a geodetic revolution. She used complex algorithms to account for gravitational pulls, tidal forces, and the subtle irregularities that make Earth not a perfect sphere, but a constantly shifting, imperfect ellipsoid. She programmed the IBM 7030 stretch computer, one of the most advanced machines of its era, to refine these calculations again and again. Her work became the foundation for the global positioning system. Every GPS satellite orbit, every coordinate, every route, every location pin you drop on your phone, All of it depends on the mathematical models Gladys West helped create. Gladys worked at Dahlgren for 42 years. She rose through the ranks, led major satellite projects, and became project manager for CSAT, the first satellite designed to study Earth's oceans from space. She produced papers, presented at conferences, mentored young scientists, and quietly built a legacy that would outlive her. In 1957, she married fellow mathematician Ira West. Together, they raised 3 children, 7 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. Their marriage lasted more than 6 decades, a partnership built on intellect, faith, and love. Even after retiring in 1998, Gladys kept learning. She earned a PhD in public administration from Virginia Tech. She exercised regularly at the YMCA. She volunteered at her church. She mentored youth, and she remained active in Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And she stayed humble, even as the world finally began to recognize her. For decades, Gladys West's contributions were buried inside classified military research. She was a hidden figure long before the term became famous. But the truth has a way of rising. She was inducted into the Air Force Space and Missile Pioneers Hall of Fame, the only Black woman ever to receive that honor. She was named one of the BBC's top 100 women. She received state and national awards, media recognition, and tributes from around the world. And in 2020, she published her memoir, It Began with a Dream, a title that captures her life perfectly, because everything she achieved truly did begin with a dream. On March 9th, 2026, Dr. Gladys West passed away at the age of 95, surrounded by family and friends. Her family said she passed peacefully and is now in heaven with her loved ones. But her legacy remains here, in every GPS-guided journey, every satellite orbit, every map that helps us find our way. Rear Admiral Sinclair Harris once said, Dr. West is one of those hidden figures whose work not only helped our military, but affects everyday life when you pick up your phone. He was right. Dr. Gladys West didn't just calculate the shape of the earth, she reshaped the world. Dr. Gladys West proved what brilliance, discipline, and determination can achieve, even in the face of segregation, even in the face of invisibility. She was a mathematician, a pioneer, a mentor, a trailblazer, a hidden figure no more. And every time we ask our phones for directions, we are following a path she helped create. Rest in power, Dr. Gladys West. Your work guides us still. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this story as compelling and thought-provoking as I did. If it sparked your curiosity or taught you something new, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It helps us keep bringing hidden history to light. Until next time, take care. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time you're watching this. Be safe out there. Bye for now.